Cavs take a 2-0 lead against the Toronto Raptors, who have been a huge disappointment. LeBron James, 43 points, 14 assists, 8 rebounds. Just a man amongst boys, doing what he does, making it look easy. Kevin Love actually came to play. He had 31 points, 11 for 21. And that was a great showing by Kevin Love, especially the first game. He only had 7 points. I think you could possibly see this coming because the Toronto Raptors were extremely confident for no reason. They hadn't beat them in like 7 games before that. Now it's 8. But before they lost last night, it was just like, yeah, we feel confident. We missed a bunch of layups. That's never going to happen again, etc., etc. Here's the problem with the Raptors. People could say, well, LeBron has them figured out, this, that, and the third. It's not that he has them figured out. It's just they're scared of him. They're scared to play basketball against that team. They're scared of expectations. Whenever there's high expectations placed on the Raptors, that's when they fold. They folded against the Nets several years back. They almost lost to the Indiana Pacers a couple years ago. You have to see how they're 1-11 in game ones. All that reared its ugly head, especially against LeBron James. They're scared to play basketball when there's high expectations against them. And, people make fun of it being a psychological standpoint. It is sort of psychological, but it's also a lack of common sense on multiple parts, multiple efforts. But, you got to give the Cavs credit for everything that they did, how they played the ball game. LeBron James must be extremely proud of Kevin Love. He's probably saying something like,
"Now that's how you supposed to shoot. From now on, that's how you shoot."
Wow. And then when you factor that, you got to give them. J.R. Smith actually had 15 points. George Hill had 13 points. So that was huge. But when you look at how the Raptors played the game, DeMar DeRozan, he had 24 points. He took 23 shots to get there, 11 for 23. Kyle Lowry went 7 for 10. He had 21. Why didn't Kyle Lowry get more shots? If coach saw that he was rolling, why didn't he attack the basket more? These are common sense things. The Raptors had 2 starters. Baca had 2 points. Anunoby had 5 points. Anunoby went 2 for 5. Baca went 0 for 5. 0 for 5. This is what common sense tells you. Especially last game, Ibaka only had 8. You can't start or you can't play Ibaka huge minutes. You got to get Van Fleet some more minutes. He had 14 points. You got to get some other guys that's actually not scared of the moment to play, because at the end of the day, it comes down to an issue where they're scared of the moment. That's all it boils down to. The whole entire team is scared of the moment. I would say or I don't want to give too much credence to, LeBron is son and them, this, that, and the third. It's just basically they're scared of the moment. They're scared of the moment. They have opportunities. They had a lead in the game, and then right before the quarter closed, or the half closed, they didn't end it correctly. And when I mean they didn't end it correctly, they let the Cavs get right back in the game. They had 8 or 10 point lead. Cavs came all the way back to bring it down to a 2-point lead. And these are the mistakes that they're making. Dwayne Casey is allowing them to make. I saw one possession where they dribbled the ball up the court. They gave it to Valanciunas. Valanciunas hoisted a 3. How many threes has Valanciunas hit this series? None. Why are you shooting threes? And they had a lead at that point. Nobody was guarding Valanciunas on purpose, and he took the bait and he shot a bad 3. What does that do? Well, long rebounds, fast break, LeBron scores at the other end. These are the small things. When you have a lead, use the clock. Use the clock. Run plays. Get your guys in easier spots to score. DeMar DeRozan should be in the post against people like Kyle Korver, against J.R. Smith. He has inches on both of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Kyle Lowry should be getting that switch on Tristan Thompson, where he could pull up for a 3, or he could drive by, or they should put Kevin Love in more pick and rolls. This is just a huge disappointment for the Raptors team. People were like, well, let's not make this about the Raptors. Let's make it more about what this man LeBron's doing. LeBron does this every time. LeBron was doing this against the Pacers. They went 7 games. Nobody on the Raptors, I don't want to say they can't guard him, They probably can guard him. They don't want to guard him. They don't want to guard him. Anunoby doesn't want to guard him. Siakam don't want it. Like, nobody wants it. Nobody's giving him any hard fouls. He went to the line 8 times. He's 4 for 8. You could, in this case, I would rather you foul him than let him get line drives to the basket. I would rather you foul him than just let him just do whatever he wants. Like, he's posting up Kyle Lowry. Like, that's how bad nobody wants to defend him. Why is Kyle Lowry getting switched on to him? Why aren't you guys switching it back? So, small, simple, common sense things they're not doing. When LeBron James turns his head, bring the double team. Easy. Shadow him sometimes with a big, sometimes don't. Go him into shooting more threes. Go under the screen more. He was 1 for 3 from 3. And then prior to that, in game 1, he didn't shoot well from 3 either. He had a putrid shooting game that night, or whatever the case is. It wasn't like his normal game like tonight. Dwayne Casey made a ton of mistakes with his game plan. The game plan is not working. I agree with Kenny Smith. The game plan is not working for this team. They need to figure out something new where they can implement a better game plan. I mean, if it's not just for pride and respect, you need to win a game. You need to win games. You need to win a game. You can't get swept by this Cavs team when you're the number 1 seed in the East. You have better players than you had before. You have shooting. You have this, then that, and the third. You got bigs. All this. They're doing this without Kyrie Irving. Imagine if Kyrie Irving was here. They would win every single game by 20. It's just, at the end of the day, it's disgusting. Here's the deal. Either you're gonna blow up the team. If they get swept, you're gonna blow up the team. Even if they don't get swept, you blow up the team, or you fire Dwayne Casey because he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, regular season, he's good. Playoffs, he can't get his guys to respond to the moment. He can't get them to focus on the key things that they're doing wrong. He's talking about, that's not us. Who was it then? Was it a doppelganger? Was it a clone? It was you. Trust and believe. Trust and believe that. But Cavs, all praises to you. You know what I'm saying? Doing y'all thing. And although they didn't want to make it about LeBron, it was really a team game. And that's kind of the thing with LeBron. Like, you either got to let him score a lot or, let other guys score a lot. Like, you got to pick your poison. Either you're going to let him score, bottle everybody else up, or try to bottle him up and try to let somebody else beat you. And the Toronto Raptors allowed both. He was killing them, and Kevin Love was killing them. George Hill had 13 points. J.R. Smith had 15 points. And if you can't stop LeBron, at least lock up those guys. Can't even lock up those guys. Those guys are getting wide open threes. They're just doing whatever they want to do. Come on, man. Like, where's your heart? Where's your heart? Where's your pride? Where's the strategy? Where's the strategy? Everybody could see that it wasn't working. They overreact to a lot of things that LeBron did. They let him catch the ball too far in the post. And anybody that's playing basketball knows that middle part of the floor is prime real estate. Push him out of that middle part of the floor. He can't just be catching the ball in the middle part of the floor. No double teams coming. No pressure. No hands in his face. Like, it's corny. It's corny. Like, these guys are corny. They didn't want to play the series, basically. They were like hoping that they could get the Cavs in another bracket and meet them in the Eastern Conference Finals instead of in the semis. They weren't ready. And it's mental preparation. It is psychological, but it's more preparation. They weren't prepared. They were never prepared. They don't go to plays when the things break down. They just run and gun and don't play good defense. Everybody's getting off on them. Every single player on the Cavs is getting off on them. Everybody's getting off. It's sad. Sad. You're the number 1 team in the East. But it's okay. You've been exposed. We know never to equate anything with the Raptors about them being a great team, whatever the case is, because it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. Guys are bums, man.